Good morning, good morning. It is a great morning for dodgeball, and we have a good one for you. Quebec versus Alberta. Part of the playoffs. They're off. Chair up to Mac. Missing La on the far side. Everyone still has the same amount of players as they started with. Jubenville with the hop up. Alberta coming in this with a higher seed, 2 versus Quebec's 5. Since we're in double elimination, I'm not entirely sure what to call this, whether this is semifinals or quarterfinals, or semifinals on the B side, or loser versus winner, or winner versus loser. Winner plays the #1 team later. Double elimination is a confusing world. Cher making the call to Mac. Coming off from the right side. Great block by Ashley Boissonneau. And a bit of a high throw, however, Sugden phased her. I don't think the off throw is what phased her, but one of the balls went way up high. Spitzmacher with a bit of a miss. Of course, our arms are not warm this early in the morning. Ooh, Cher. Tried to get that grab, but could not. And Mac and Spitzmacher also taken out almost at the same time. Rowe eyeing the competition, but Jubenville with a great block. Making the call. Quebec with the 4 on the other side. Jubenville missed their throw, and Rowe takes out La. So, whittling them down bit by bit. And we've got a bit of a game on our hands between these two from the opposite sides of the country. Jubenville eyeing down. But pushing back is Quebec. Can't quite get all the way up to that line, but a great block by Bork. Ooh, some great pushbacks from both Pouliot and Gelino. But the blocks were even more powerful on the side of Alberta. Oh, a line violation before. Oh, time count violation. I see. Alberta taking everybody out. And the last 3 players within 20 seconds giving Alberta their first point of this match. We've been seeing all weekend how fast each of these teams are. And Alberta and Quebec are no slouches to these numbers. As head ref Mark Sizravi gets ready to time them. Ready, and they're off. Alberta usually, on average, was a bit faster during this tournament. As you see Quebec with a 3.006. They are currently, Quebec is one of the slower teams, but as we all know in dodgeball, you do not need to be a fast team to be a good team. You just need to have good strategy and know what to do with the speed that you do or do not have, which Quebec easily can do. Sugden threading the needle right between everybody down the middle. As now Quebec's turn to throw. And a line down from 19. Regali. La with a nice block, but to the left of La. Bézin taken out. And again with the threading of the needle from Ford, right between Spitzmacher and Scher. Pushing back is Scher. Oh, Charlebois taken out. I missed it, holding her shoulder. Don't know if that's where the hit was or if shoulder is in need of repair. It was on the other shoulders, the hit, so the throwing shoulder, the left shoulder of Charlebois seems to be being favored. Rowe taken out by La, and taken out again before getting off the court. By accident, I'm sure. Jubinville making the call to Mack, and Mack taken out La, although to Jubinville with a block. From here, it looked like Bézin may have taken Jubinville out, but Jubinville with a nice block. And now Ford in all alone. Mack dodging. Nope, just kidding. Mack got hit by Ford. That sounds like a truck advertisement right there. Ford hit Mack. Boom. Ford tough. Built Ford tough. Vroom, vroom. Okay, anyways, it's too early for this. Spitzmacher making the call to Jubinville. Oh, all three of them hit. Don't know if that was a bit of a... There was a line out. Cannot see that far. My eyes are not telescopes. I do have our on-court camera operator in my ear, and he keeps making comments to me. He is the eyes on the court for commentators. Whenever commentators have a question, he usually has the answer since he is close up to the field. Alberta, a little bit slower than before. Quebec, again, as you can see, a slower time, but still in on the game. Ooh, Scher with a nice dodge right between two balls. Anywhere to the left and right, and she would have been hit. Ford making the call to her teammates. Although Alberta just pushing back. Could not get Quebec off of that back line. I'm not sure why Ford might have been making calls to keep everybody safe or decide on a rush because Alberta did have Burden at that point. So I think there was just calls being made and I misinterpreted. Scher with a beautiful catch, although nonchalantly, non-celebrationally. Now, it's 6-2, just like that. Spitzmacher throwing down to Bork. And Bork dodging. And between now, wow. Taken out was Galineau. Dielino, Rowe. And everybody, just 3 balls right down, and the dodge. Although not dodgy enough, Bork taken out. And we have ourselves a 3-0 game. It was a beautiful morning this morning. The sky was a bit purple as the sun was coming up here in Waterloo, Ontario. Good morning, if you're listening. And if you're not listening, well, what's the point? Tran with a pitch up, way over top of Mac. Rowe took the ball from the far side. That was an interesting bit of a play. I thought that was kind of cool. Everybody thought Mac was going to be the one throwing, but nope, it was Rowe. Cher pushing back. Number 19, Regali. And landed on the camera operator, apparently. I missed it. You can see if we get a replay off of that one, because I did not see. Oh, ha, yes. That was actually a pretty interesting replay. We could look at that a little bit later. Rowe with the call to Jubenville. Looks like it was sucked in and Jubenville making the throw, although Ford with a nice block on the far side. Jubenville then taken out by Charlebois. Jubenville has been a pain in every team's rear ends throughout this tournament, as they are in most tournaments. Spitzmacher grabbing the ball. Sugden. Spitzmacher think made the call. Rowe make the throw. But now Charlebois' turn to make a call. Sugden with a dodge and a block. And Charlebois taken out at some point. Now we got Spitzmacher, Rowe, and Sugden. Rowe with the block. Ooh, missed the ball, didn't get it back, although Ford with a beautiful catch off of Rowe. Bringing back in Bezan. Ooh, what a throw. Sugden with a dodge, taking out Ford. Quick take a look at that replay of cameraman Bryce being run over by Betty Mack. That wasn't as fun as I thought it was. Thanks for the call out though, Bryce. Tran, toss up. Is it the same? No, it's Harrington on the field for, I believe, the first time this match. One of the many reasons why I'm commentating alone right now. Ooh, La taken out. In the face? In the eyeball? Not sure. It looked painful either way. But the ball goes all the way out on the other side of the gym. As you can see on the far side, you've got BC versus Ontario. Looks like 4-0 for Ontario at this moment. Tran pushing back. Ooh, and it was a dodge. I believe that didn't look like a hit, to be honest. But what might have happened is that Fortier, I believe, might have felt she got hit in the hair. Long, flowy hair can do that to you sometimes. Ooh, that was a nice side dodge by Boissonneau. Tate with the call in the middle. Boissonneau Missing the throw, but Rowe calls to Tran to Spitzmacher, and who's the one who throws? Spitzmacher, missing her target of Charlebois. But Spitzmacher getting that ball back. Charlebois trying to take out Rowe and missing. And Rowe target was Boissonneau. The throw was a little bit short. The good block, however, Tran did not block. And Spitzmacher taken out as well. And now we got it down. I believe this is Quebec's first time with more players than the Alberta side. And now Tate taken out, who seemed to be a bit of the, might have been a bit of the top player during this set, or the top decider, because a lot of the calls seem to be made from Tate. However, you can always make calls from the sidelines, but what a catch. What a catch by Bézan, bringing La back in, who was taken out, I think, by Sugden at the beginning of this match. Ooh, and a toe tapper on Boissonneau. Five balls on the side of Quebec, 4 balls. Rowe with the dodge. Quebec still needs at least 1 ball, 2 balls out of hand. Ooh, and a good pre-counter actually from Rowe. Those usually connect, but Bézan dodging gracefully. La with a far throw. Rowe, great at throwing 50, 55 feet. Still gets up to the line, hoping, expecting that Quebec cannot get up to that line as fast as she can. And Rowe taking La out during that exchange. One-on-one. Rowe versus Bézan. Missing the throws, but then Bézan hands up for a possible catch, missing. And Rowe gets that point for Alberta. This was Quebec's first chance, possibility of a point. Not capitalizing. But 5 points have come in the last 17 minutes. That doesn't mean another 5 Quebec points can come in the second half. So you can also try to do 6. So far, no pitch up on the Alberta side. They are ahead of the game. So they're taking it slow. Quebec is already down 1 player. Ian Randall tripping over some of the netting. It's dangerous sometimes if you're not too careful. This is why I wear a helmet on the field. Not just on the field. Tran getting an extra ball in hand, making the call. Jeffries on the right side, pushing back. Only 1 hit on Bork, and the refs are discussing. Here's how the conversation would go. I think she was hit. What, do you think she was hit? No? Was she hit? Yeah, no? Okay. All right, never mind. You can get back on the court now. It seems line ref would have seen it differently from the middle line refs, the center line refs, and that is why we have multiple refs. So now, she's hit again. Worded. Re-hit. How would I word that? Not hit again, but confirmed hit this time. Confirmed hit. Cold play called to Jeffries. It looks like Jeffries with the throw right between both Charlebois and Pouliot. Tran now with the ball in the middle. Oh, Pouliot wanted that in her hands. Second guessed, thought better of it. And we have a photographer on the court. Anyways. Charlebois missing the throw on Jeffries and pushing back, I believe. Fortier was pushing back Harrington on this far side. Ooh, Jeffries with a good dodge. 2 balls, one of them from Charlebois, and she usually does connect. But Jeffries with a great dodge. Good blocks on the side of Fortier. Tran with, Tate with the call in the middle. But both Tate and Pouliot's throws did not connect. Alberta still with 6. Chu. Wow. I would flinch with throws like that. Now we got debris on the field. Looks like finger tape coming off of somebody's fingers. I don't know where else you would put finger tape, so it must have been someone's fingers. We got 8 seconds left on the court. Mark is making up his own time, according to on-court commentary. Good morning, Ms. Schmagelski. I would appreciate a coffee. Good thing I've got a Tim Hortons ice cap. Less cream, red eye, with cane syrup added. Give it a try. You might get addicted, just like I am. The less cream is important. The espresso is important. And the cane syrup is important. What a toe tapper, Jeffries on Pouliot. Willing it down 6-2. Alberta has definitely been a bit of a force to be reckoned with in this tournament as well. They took Ontario. I believe they were ahead by 2 a few times during the match. What a catch. What a catch by Tate. Line out from who? Jeffries was a line out, so they might be discussing whether or not the catch counts if Jeffries lined out. I got to tell you, having an on-court commentator in my ear, it's, well, okay, you say it's the worst thing in the world. Nobody can hear him, but he's telling me things that you do not see unless you're on the court, which is interesting. We've never tried this before, but, like, it's helpful. So they're calling it a catch. It could have potentially been a line out, but they decided it was not a line out, or it was a line out after the throw. So as a result, the catch does count. Yes, catch line out. Oh, so tasty. Harrington with a dodge just below the knees. Honestly, when I get back into dodgeball this next year, should I do knee pads? I see most players do knee pads, but when you see players still agile without knee pads, you wonder, what is your style? What is your style with or without knee pads? Can you play without knee pads? All the girls on the court at this moment in time have knee pads. I don't think anybody on either team does not have knee pads. And I'm just noticing now, Frericks this might be her first match. Whoa! And it might have been her first catch too, but Frericks, that ball just got out of her bounced a little too far, couldn't get it back in her clutches. Ooh, Chu, Harrington, and Tran all threading the needle over there on Gelineau. And the throw getting really close to that line, but as you can see, both refs watching that line intently. Harrington taken out. This might be Gelino's game. You've got Coldplay, you've got Tran, you got Chu, all losing their balls. You got all 6 on that side. What will Gelino do? Coldplay with the dodge. Chu dodged gracefully. Gelino, 3 balls in hand. Alberta has to throw. Will she counter? No, she throws instead. 4 balls on the side of Alberta. Nope, 1 went back. But Alberta still has to throw, almost threading the needle. Honestly, maybe moved a little bit too far, but that was a great dodge attempt on the side. Whoops, I pressed the wrong button. I should not have done that. Oh, hold on. Yeah, so the reason why you've got me is because nobody's here. It's just me. We need as many line refs as possible. Michelle Dermott might join me. Who do we got? A new line ref. What's going on, Bryce? You were right there. Ah! Yay! Looks like I'll have Michelle Dermott. Dermott? Dermott. Dermott? Dermott. I said it right. I'll say it 5 times. I'll say it 5 times and I'll get it right eventually. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning. Are we live?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
So they cannot hear him.
Okay. Perfect.
But I will tell you that voice in your head helped me with the Jeffries thing, right? Because I was like, okay, what are they discussing? So he saw the line out potentially first.
Yes.
So does the catch count as a result, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So that was kind of cool to have that voice in my head.
And that's also one of those subtle things in the game, like a player stepping on the line on their throw actually works in the advantage of the team that is on the receiving end of that. So the throw, if the player makes a catch on that, it's still a valid catch. But if the player were to make the hit would not be a valid hit. So we are getting ready for the second half of the match. Currently, the score is 6-0 in favor of Alberta.
And no pitch back from Quebec, although Alberta was pitching back at the first the first bit of the first half, and then they stopped when they realized they were ahead.
It looks like Quebec has been doing more of a defensive opening rush and electing to keep themselves safe as opposed to passing that ball, keeping those bodies on the court. And if Alberta's picking up on that, they might not want to waste that opening rush ball and just set up for an offensive play, since it is on Alberta to throw when they won the previous point.
Quebec's turn to throw more balls. Bazan and Ford
and a
working
double
together.
Connects, and a follow-up counter on that pressure. Quebec gets 2 outs on that play, but they are now in a 5-1 deficit and lose a player on that play coming back. So we are even bodies on the court.
It was rare for Quebec to be ahead players, but there was a couple of the last rounds, the last sets.
Yeah, there was definitely one set in the first half where Shauna Rowe was the last player on the Alberta side, and she was able to swing it back in favor of her team. Claire Tate making another incredible grab this game. And Quebec with 5 players to 2 on the Alberta side.
The only ball was Ford in the middle, but tapped out on the hands.
Yeah, it was definitely a finger block there, and Anika's been pretty good at getting her ball in front of the ball. Protecting herself with her ball, but just clipping the fingers on that play.
And cloth that would have not counted.
Yes, definitely.
Harrington missing Bazan.
A nice cross court coming in from La. And now Shree Harrington, last player on the Alberta side.
We have not seen that today yet.
Let's see if she can make some hits, some catches.
Ooh.
And Quebec is able to get her with all 3, or I think it was 2 out of the 3. They were able to place that.
At least La's ball.
Coming in from the right side for sure.
Yeah, looks like one of the balls hit. All the other 2 she was trying to dodge. And as a result, Quebec gets their first point.
So starting out this second half. Okay, so Quebec missing a player in the lineup, so now they are all set to go.
Yeah,
Once again, defensive rush. Nobody's wanting to take that move right now.
The rushes are also pretty slow. I think both teams have kind of opted to just not use their power because they know the other one isn't going to rush super fast for it. Quebec has been the slowest team to the balls most of the tournament, but you don't need to be fast to be a good team.
That's true. And I'm sure we were able to determine the speed based on that counter, right? The calculator.
Well, I don't have any numbers for Quebec that are less than 3 seconds.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah. So we know different dynamics of the game put teams in a place of advantage. So
sorry,
okay.
There's some action going on, but I had a thought to that opening rush time. But with all the numbers that we've been doing over the last while, another team that comes to mind in the States is Kunoichi with a slow rush, but still very good at the overall game.
Yes.
And this is basically Quebec's style, is the Kunoichi style.
Right. So at the moment, Quebec is up 1 body, and they are coming up for a 3-ball play, sending 1 onto Harrington. Harrington ducking under that ball, and Alberta setting up for a 4-ball play, sending 1 as well. A counter coming in from Ashley on the left-hand side from Quebec, not landing. And Harrington's ball gets under that blocker on the player.
Galeno.
Got baited a throw there. Player was grabbing a ball that was in the middle, acting like they were not ready. And Ashley risking throwing that last ball, giving all 6 to the Alberta side to take down a priority target.
That ball was one of the fastest balls I've seen in this game so far, and Jeffries did not even, she must have blinked.
Yes.
She must have blinked because that ball was so fast.
You'll notice a lot of players in a defensive stance or a ready stance when they're approaching the line, knees bent, balls at the ready, and then keeping themselves protected from pre-counters that come in. But sometimes you're not able to get that ball onto the legs in time.
Oh!
Incredible catch on the left-hand side from Quebec, bringing Charlebois back into the game.
That got Coach Biron off her feet. So it's the highest I've seen her jump. Excitement
coming in from the Quebec side right now. They're moving into a rhythm on the court. So spending those balls as well, giving 5 to the Alberta side. Ashley taking that shot, taking that catch, getting hit by a counter.
Charlebois had a good dodge, almost got hit by that second ball that came off of Boissonneau.
And that's definitely something that you're always having to pay attention to. You see where the balls are coming in. You want to evade it. Even if there's a deflection, you do not want to be standing flat-footed and being in the position where you get hit by a blocker off your teammate. Now Harrington in the solo player role again this set, taking her time at the line, waiting for someone to come up and pressure to force a little bit of a 1v1 situation, maybe closing that gap for her to have a better shot. Clara Tate with the solo ball in hand on the Quebec side, pressuring, blocking, and applying that pressure still. Shri is now further back on the court, taking her time. She knows that the rush back is coming.
Is this the first time we've seen 5-on-1? I believe.
Yeah, because I think earlier it was a 4v1, and that is another catch. Charlebois squeezing those elbows and just securing that ball, not letting it roll off of her body. And so Quebec takes another set this half. Momentum on the Quebec side is growing. They are cheering. They are hyped up. They are on fire right now.
The amazing part about that catch was it was 1,000% unintentional.
Yes.
It was a complete blocking motion,
yeah.
Blocking over the head motion. Must have late block, and it just stuck right in between her elbows.
Just like slipped right into the right spot. And I think that's one of the incredible things about having strong mechanics as a player, as an athlete. You can make those accidental catches and they look like they were intended or not with that look of surprise on
honestly,
the face.
Yeah. And this was Alberta's timeout. So.
Oh, yes, yeah. So on a timeout, players able to recuperate on the Alberta side, hoping to slow that momentum from the Quebec team. And if I'm Alberta right now, I want us to get 1 point on the board just to break that momentum and keep our team with a commanding lead.
Oh, Alberta with a missed.
So, Quebec actually taking a shot off the opening rush this time around. Player able to avoid it. That
was actually a pretty quick rush for Quebec as well, 2.5-ish.
Okay.
So that momentum is making them speedy. And we won't talk about Alberta's because they didn't really come off the line.
A pop-up catch and a hit. Oh, sorry. I guess they called it a bounce, not a catch. So I think there was a little bit of confusion there. Some players not realizing that the play was continuing, and now in favor of Alberta secured a catch, bringing having 6 players back on the court.
They had a couple of catches.
Yeah.
Betty Mack first of all, and then I missed one if there was a second.
There was definitely a hit, so they caught the hit, and then they kind of switched the game in about 10 seconds. But Quebec taking 2 players off of
That was very
consecutive plays. But Alberta coming back and securing a hit as well. So now we have a 4v2 in favor of Alberta. Pressuring. Another incredible hit by Elise. And if I'm not mistaken, that was 3 offensive plays in a row where she's landed a hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Almost on this one as well, but Coldplay is able to jump over that ball.
Some good quick hops. Sometimes you don't need to jump too high.
Just need to jump enough.
Yeah. Forche with a nice block. And she seems to be the target right now.
So Alberta communicating in the middle, spreading out, and taking that shot. Pressuring up from the Quebec side. Communicating as well. Taking that cross court, doesn't make it. Coldplay applying pressure, but does not take the counter. Mac and Ferrix taking that hit. Oh, sorry, Sugden taking that hit. So now it is
I got mixed up between them two as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar height, similar hair.
You're not the only one.
Gotta check the numbers. So we've got a 1v3 situation right now. And unfortunately for Regali, that ball does break the block. So Alberta takes another set this game, making the score 7-2.
Yes.
A little bit quieter on the Quebec side this round after losing that set.
It says 6-2 on the board.
I think they haven't flipped the number yet.
Yeah, I see.
I believe that's the case.
I think it's 7 because they didn't flip the 1 to a 2 for Quebec earlier either.
Oh.
On the stream score.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark can't do 2 things at once.
Multitasking so many things and
Yeah.
also running the event. Another pop-up catch from the Quebec side. The momentum with the pop-ups just brings that elevation of energy to the team. Coming out strong again for another offensive play. It looked like Elise threw so strong that she threw herself off balance in that throw. Coldplay getting onto the, Mac getting caught by a shadow catch, intending to hit Law on a counter, but not Law just ducking, and then the player behind securing that catch. Another block from the Quebec side, keeping them 6 bodies strong against 3 on the Alberta side. So with the being up player bodies, it looks like Quebec is happy to do counter plays. But right now they are settling into an offensive play, hoping to secure a hit. And they do a double on the middle player, securing that hit. So great coordination from the Quebec side.
Yeah, that was Chu who tried to get it in their clutches, but just not enough. It's bounced off to the side. A little too far.
Oh, and Clara Tate with that solo ball on the Quebec side. Ball pops up, but she's not able to see it in time for her to secure that ball.
That almost like the carbon copy of the last throw, the last hit that Quebec got just happened on Tate as well.
That actually is very true. Both balls coming in from across. Charlebois making a really great lateral dodge to the right side, avoiding that ball coming in from Fair.
She should have died,
yeah.
but she didn't.
And that counter landing from Charlebois. So 4v1 in favor of Quebec. That
It's
momentum still rolling.
Definitely been the bane of Alberta's existence right now.
Coldplay. Oh, she was so close to the line there, but it looks like she stayed in with that one hop. making that hit onto Charlebois, who is a little bit high. Okay, pressuring up, but waiting till balls are in hand before taking a offensive throw as a team. 2 balls go. Oh, player sets herself midway through the court for a catch and just not able to secure that ball. Nice lateral dodge on the Quebec side. Another side step from the Quebec side, settling in for an offensive play. And a great dodge from Coldplay. Counter is blocked. A counter back is blocked. Another block. We are accurate throwing right now and strong blocking right now, both sides. And you can tell both teams want this point, so they are pushing, they are doing everything they can. And jumps, and the momentum on the backtrack just leads La Land out of bounds, and a miss block from Regali, and Coldplay closing out that 1v situation.
Nail in the coffin? Might have been before,
Maybe.
but is it more so now?
I think definitely
Timeout for
now.
Quebec.
Quebec is calling a timeout, recuperating. They really did need that point to keep themselves competitive in this game, so not a lot of time left for them to catch up in this match.
Yeah, 4.5 minutes and 6 points to tie it.
Definitely not a typical winnable situation.
People would say it's mathematically possible. However, is it? You never see. That would be a complete collapse of Alberta.
Yeah,
and
and with the way that both teams are playing right now, the sets are lasting pretty long. So I think it's safe to say that Quebec is out of reach from tying this match and being able to move into overtime. But it looks like they are still going to play out and do their best to maintain that competitive gameplay.
They can at least discover if they were a second half team.
Yeah.
Because it was 6-0 at the start of this.
It was.
And this match is 2
I mean,
tied.
if it was only this half, they'd be tied.
Yep.
So Quebec is in this game. Maybe the score doesn't reflect it at the moment, but the back and forth gameplay and the momentum definitely shows that. Sorry, we just saw a close-up of Mark's face as he whistles.
That was not on the stream, but cameraman Bryce having a bit of fun down there.
Shout out to Bryce for doing an amazing job as a cameraman throughout the entire tournament.
This was one of Quebec's fastest rushes, 2.517.
All right.
And they pitched back. Was that their first pitch back?
No, second.
Okay,
They
all
did
right.
it the previous set as well. So you know what? Maybe Quebec was focusing on doing that pitch back when they knew they had Burden. In this situation, they didn't have Burden, but I think they maybe wanted to push that point and try to make it a faster game by taking advantage of the rush.
It's a different style than what I've seen throughout the tournament, that's for sure.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Quebec is down bodies in this set early on, and so Alberta, 6 players. Oh, now closing that gap. So 4 players to 3 now. Alberta up 1 body, and Quebec able to still maintain that competitiveness. More players on the Alberta side, so they have Burden to throw, even though there is an even ball count. Alberta throwing fakes, trying to hypnotize the Quebec side into a lull before taking that shot. No shots land, though. Jeffries taking out the corner across from her on Quebec's left-hand side.
I only just noticed this now, but Jubenville is not on the sidelines.
Sorry, what was that?
I just noticed that Jubenville is not on the sidelines.
Oh,
It might have been the whole time, I think.
No, Jubenville was playing in the first half of this game, so it could be that sometimes players will go get some physio treatment and, you know, between the game, if they know that they're not going back into the point, taking care of their body so that they're ready for their next match.
Yeah. And with Alberta being this high up in the score, makes sense to rest early.
Definitely, yeah.
Especially one of your top players.
Yeah, she was throwing so well earlier in the match and holding down that corner. And Alberta has a deep roster, so they can switch out their players and maintain that competitive edge in the game. Securing another point for the Alberta side. We're coming close to the end of this match. It is, how much time? 1:40 left in this match. So a shot from Jeffries off the opening rush lands and takes out one of the Quebec players. A bounce from Ford targeting Jeffries, and it does not land. So a few shots coming across, and they're both connecting with Quebec players. So 6 players to 3 in favor of Alberta. Anik Ford making a great lateral dodge. Sheree Harrington making a catch on the Alberta side, and Anik being countered out. So a solo player left on the Quebec side dodges. 6 players v1. And depending on if this player is able to survive the clock, this could potentially be the last match of the game. 30 seconds left in the match. No balls connecting, still safe.
I guess at this point we're just basically trying to see how far you can make it. Can you survive another 10 seconds?
Yes, yeah.
It's like a self-accolade at this point. I survived Alberta's 6-on-1 onslaught in the last 30 seconds.
An incredible dodge there at the last second. So able to make it to the very end of the match. 6v1 survived out the remainder of the game, and Alberta wins the match 9 points to 2.
Yeah. And that was pretty decisive from the start on the side of Alberta. However, you never saw Quebec give up.
No.
They never gave up. They took their timeouts. They discussed what to do next. You saw excited coaches the entire time. Something great would happen. The team, look at that, positivity.
Yeah.
They love the game. They love the sport. That is what they're here for.
Definitely, yeah. And that momentum starting on the Quebec side, the cheering, the hyping up the team, the energy just getting like bigger and bigger. And unfortunately, in these competitive matches, even when you get the momentum rolling, you still have to outbeat the other team to ensure that you're able to keep that competitive edge until the end of the match. So great job to both teams. Congrats to Alberta. You are going to move on to your next match. And Quebec, this was their final match of the tournament.
Yeah, next up we have Manitoba men's versus Quebec men's. Obviously men's. But the winner, Alberta, goes up against Ontario right after this. This essentially was the winner plays Ontario match.
Okay, so this should be an exciting match coming up.
That is incorrect. I was wrong.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
I think Ontario is playing right now, but since we have 5 teams in each division, typically you'd see 2v3 and then 1v4 in the semifinals. It was almost as if we played one semifinal yesterday, and then the team that would have won against in the team that ranked 4th and 5th would play against the Ontario team that placed 1st.
Yeah.
And then in this situation, it looks like, what were the rankings of?
So the other match was Ontario versus BC, and BC lost. So the next one for Alberta is against BC, who just lost, but Alberta lost yesterday.
Okay.
So this was their lose and out, right?
Okay.
So with BC losing their first game,
So-
they basically they won against Quebec yesterday.
Yes.
So now it'll be BC versus Alberta in the is this semifinals? Is that how that works?
So are we playing this game?
This is next, yeah.
This
so
game.
this is what just happened.
Oh, okay. So, sorry, I'm just, we're just catching up on the schedule. It is still early in the morning, and it's been a long weekend. So, our 9:30 matchup should be Quebec men's versus Manitoba men's. And if I'm not mistaken, both these teams lost in their games yesterday. So, this is the first round of the lower loser bracket of the tournament for the men's side. Now, whatever team wins this match will continue on in the bracket and play against the team that loses in the game that is happening on court 2, which is the Ontario men's versus the Alberta men's teams. And I think I'm right, but correct me if I am wrong.
I believe you're right.
Okay, perfect. So whoever loses in this match will be their last game of the tournament.
Yes.
All right, I am going to head out to referee. Thank you for joining me on the mic, Mitch.
I don't know what I'm doing next.
All right, well, we'll figure it out.
Yes, I will have to do that.
All right.
We'll be back, I hope.
like dodgeball, why not check out other obscure sports on Selkirk Sports? Air hockey, arm wrestling, armored combat, and even Australian football. From acrobatics and beach tennis to everyone's favorite, beer pong. All this and more at selkirksports.com.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Canadian Nationals here in Waterloo. Terry Thrasher here with Michelle Dermott again. How are you doing this morning, Michelle?
Doing pretty well, yes. So we saw a matchup for the women's side. It was Quebec ladies versus Alberta women's, this previous match. And I was on the commentary for the second half of that game. And so I'm back here, and I'm happy to be joined by you, Terry.
Yeah, you're definitely getting in the reps for commentary this week.
Oh, sorry, Mitch just gave us a look like, what about me?
Mitch is fine. Thank you for being here, Mitch. Keeping it all together.
Mitch is behind the scenes doing all the things to make the commentary happen this weekend. So
I also want to shout out Bryce, who's visiting us from Manitoba as well, helping to get the production ready, getting those sideline camera shots. So it takes a village, right, to make this stuff happen.
Definitely, and all that hard work is making this a success all around. So right now we've got Manitoba men's versus Quebec men's. The winner of this match will remain in the tournament. The loser will no longer be in the event.
Yeah, this is when that loser's bracket of double elimination playoffs has its most severe consequences, I guess. Eventually, someone's got to be eliminated along the path, and this is the start of it for the men's division. And so far, we've actually got a pretty even point. Quebec and Alberta.
4 players to 4 on both sides.
Sorry, Manitoba. Oh my goodness.
What did you say? You said?
I said Alberta.
Oh.
Little too early for me.
Alberta playing against Ontario on court 2 this morning. They are both wearing black jerseys, so a common mistake. We're getting our bearings right now.
And so right away, we've seen again that kind of back and forth counter-heavy style that we've seen a lot in the men's division. And right now, Quebec has a slight player edge. And we often talk about the national team experience on both sides, and people who've watched a lot of international dodgeball will perhaps recognize Louis-Pierre Blanchet out there for Quebec, currently in their left corner.
And Manitoba able to even out the body count on the court. 3v3, shots fired a little high, so nothing connecting in that exchange.
Yep, first match of the day, obviously. That was a nice one coming in close on Falk. Oh, and there's a good hit, taking Blanchet out.
Great counter, pressure up, pauses for a second, and then takes the opening like that shot.
It's a proactive try again from the Quebec side. It came pretty close on Volkart, but nice dodge on his part.
I think sometimes changing up the pace of that throw also throws the dodger off. especially if you're used to everyone just rushing and throwing immediately. But it worked in favor for the Manitoba side. 2 balls hitting that last player on the Quebec side, securing the first point of the match for Team Manitoba.
Yeah, and it's an interesting balance with trying to mix up the tempo, because one of the things that can be hard about that too is you might not be fully stepping into a throw the same way that you would if you are running into it the way you were describing. But you know, it can be worth it if you've got a good release that doesn't depend on that classic step. Oh, nice catch.
A defensive rush. Okay, that player was fully out of bounds and stepped back on the court. The referees did not notice, so we are going to play on.
Well, that was Josh Walsh caught off and Renier taken out as well. And Team Manitoba, they're firing on all cylinders right now.
Or actually, you know what? I think I was wrong because the player got hit and then there was a catch that was made. So player was out of bounds because they got out and then they came back in for the catch that was made. So there was no error from the Manitoba side. It was just, I did not see it in the moment.
And that was quite a flurry of activity there too. We saw Ashley Bend making a great catch on Berube, just again squaring up to the shot, and then the rest of the team just kind of finishing things off. And they've really just kind of overpowered what's going on the Quebec side for now.
And Manitoba's been playing an extremely fast, high momentum game throughout the entire tournament. They've got a lot of young athletes on their squad with all the energy in the world, and I think they really wanted to have a competitive tournament overall.
A bit less of their kind of familiar established team members in some cases that we've often seen at previous like clubs and nationals, but obviously Manitoba, a fairly deep province for dodgeball talent. They're showing that off in this tournament.
And Manitoba is traditionally a province that always has teams from clubs, club nationals that make it to medal matches. So definitely have so many players within their province who can play at that top level in Canada.
Martin Dutil hit out for Quebec, another one of those national team players in the past.
And Owen Kemble getting hit out by a finger block, evening the player count for 4 bodies to 4. Now 3 bodies to 3. Everything happens so fast in the men's games.
Yeah, Welsh getting a hit and then just couldn't quite squeeze a counter shot from Falk, taking him out.
That's one of the risks that you take when you're taking a counter on a player that is not with the ball across from you. You will leave yourself a little bit exposed for that counter shot coming in.
Yeah, not able to squeeze it, so now looking at a 3-on-3 still. No, never mind. They get Gravel on the far side, and okay, Manitoba's got the edge again, hoping to extend that lead to 3 points. Okay, looks like they did manage to get Falk off.
This game has been hit for hit throughout the match. Each team getting a hit, evening it back up. Let's see if it continues with the Quebec side landing another hit to even it up for a 1v1.
Yeah, Mayu Rayon hit out, and now 2-on-1. Bend and Gatza for Manitoba. Staring down the opponent here, but Robe's throw missing. It's always a tough spot to be in as the solo player.
Nate's ready to make a move. One of my Team Canada teammates on the cloth mixed side. He is an experienced foam player as well and has been running cloth development in the province of Manitoba. Incredible leadership throughout the community, and it's great to see him here this weekend.
Okay, and they get the hit through the block.
Manitoba securing that hit and increasing their lead.
A lot of pep and vigor in their game early on, a little more than I'm feeling, so full credit to them. They got their rest and their coffee, hopefully, whatever they need to.
A lot of cheering, a lot of support from teammates coming out from the Manitoba side.
There's still not a lot happening off the rush, although I like the big fake coming out from the Quebec side there.
And you might have noticed Manitoba is doing a defensive rush. They've been electing to do a defensive rush for quite a few games in this tournament, not wanting to spend a second runner, able to survive off that opening rush, and not utilizing that element of the game as something that they wanted to do.
Yeah, it is interesting because we've often seen the trend be players and teams being more aggressive off the rush, hunting for that early advantage, but sometimes it's easier, or it might fit their strategy better to just make sure that they start off with the full 6. And it does seem to be working for them. Yeah,
Josh Wells taking a shot onto Bend, landing the hit. Player count is in favor of the Quebec side. We've got a 6v4, and Quebec coming up for an offensive play. Counter, a pre-counter from the Manitoba side does not land. Now it is a 4-ball play from Quebec.
Oh, there's a nice bailout by Falk.
So there was a lot of action that happened just then. There was a hit, that was a catch, dive catch from the player beside, and then another hit coming out from Manitoba. So Manitoba actually turning the point in their favor now, 5 players to 3.
Yeah, a big part of that, Falk really extending out and sacrificing the body for a bailout catch on. I think that was Volkart who got hit, so huge effort and awareness benefiting that Manitoba side on that exchange.
Shot from Gaza in the middle. Counter from Kemple. Landing. He gets stuck halfway up the court on the ground, gets countered out himself. So 4 players to 2 in favor of Manitoba.
Ooh, a nice shot from Wilmot too, getting low under the blocker, as we see now Alfred Raju hit out. And there was just one, again from the Quebec side, struggling to find their footing so far in this matchup. That's a good shot, though.
That was a great shot. He went for the catch. The catch did not land in the pocket, just hit a part of the body that wasn't able to be secured.
Okay, and they close it out with that 3-shot volley. Good, smart, high-tempo play from Manitoba.
And there was a slight stagger in the way that those balls came in. 2 of them at the same time. The follow one is the one that landed. I don't know if one of the previous ones hit as well, but securing that hit for the Manitoba side.
Line judge making sure everybody on the Manitoba side is lined up properly. We see another solo rush. There's a nice kind of screened shot.
Yeah, and a player loses their shoe in the middle of the court. We always care about player safety, and so stop play for that player to tie their shoes and get the game going again.
They didn't even wait for him to tie it up.
Well, he is still tying that shoe. Maybe the refs did not see that he's still tying, but he is safe. The players are not targeting him, being respectful, knowing that he is getting his shoelaces tied.
Dutil hit out, though. His head's down a little bit. Hopefully, Quebec still keeping their morale up. They are still in it. We got a pause again.
So there was a pause play there for something that was on the court to be picked up and to also allow that player to finish tying their shoe. So now we are getting started with the... There's a little conversation about a potential risk on the court. So we are using a gymnasium that has the badminton pole holes in the ground, and it looks like a player stepped on that and it gave a little bit of an unstable step. So they're just going to tape that down to make sure that it won't be something that trips a player during the match.
Yeah. Got a nice close-up view of the court repair actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, you almost take it for granted that the ground's going to be stable under you. So if it shifts at all when you're really pushing off hard, it could be really dire. So appreciate the attention to it on the court.
Definitely. The taping method is very similar to what Dodgeball Ontario used for the annual Dodger tournament that they hosted a week or so ago. Fundraiser for St. Michael's Hospital Foundation. And that usually the facility they use usually has some pockets on the ground that are like that. So using the X method with the tape, keeping it secured, making sure no one trips on any hazards. Match back underway. It is even bodies, 4v4. Quebec burdened to throw.
Yeah, we see a nice try toward Volkart, but the back pedal, everybody's still safe. We've got that 4-on-4, and again, we see Manitoba really keeping the pace high.
A double onto Welsh. Welsh able to block one and dodge the other. Comes back for a counter at Gaza. Gaza ducks as well. Still even bodies.
Yeah, we'll see who finds that accuracy next. I've heard a sideline comment, move your feet, boys. Good advice when you're on defense, definitely. Staying nimble, staying light on your feet, very important.
Some really great dodging coming out from Philippe on the Quebec side. He is the left-hand corner, applying pressure, pushing up. Welsh takes that shot and lands the hit.
Yeah, sending Sampson off. That's a good shot from Welsh, who, okay, gets another.
Welsh taking down Gaza. And so now we have player advantage in favor of Quebec.
So this is a good position for Quebec, and I think maybe they're looking at slowing it down and just trying to actually close out this first point, get that first one on the board, get that confidence back in the match. That's going to help.
Welsh taking another body down. He is in a rhythm of hit, and accurate throws right now, pressuring up on the attack, waiting for the signal from his teammate in the opposite corner. They hold back for the offensive throw.
Okay, good defense, Volkart.
Keeping a ball in hand, taking that shot, pre-counter, blocked.
It was one of those things you were describing before, breaking up the rhythm a little bit. You think the play's over, and Walsh tries you again. So
Volkart making that catch on that rush counter. 2 balls coming in on him. He's able to secure that second ball. Keppel coming back in the court and getting countered out at the line. Welsh once again dominating with those throws, those counters, that unpredictable play.
Oh, another Sisravi.
Fakes so hard that the ball comes out of his hand and it threw him off a little bit. He got countered out of position, so we are now 2v1. Volkart alone on the Manitoba side.
Okay, Blanchet finishes that off. Quebec finally gets their first point on the board. Volkart put up quite a fight there.
Yeah, making that catch, surviving, blocking, reading those plays, but he wasn't able to secure that at the end. So it looks like we are in a timeout.
And we believe that timeout was called by the Quebec side. It's the rare timeout after that team wins the point, but I think this could be a good chance to reinforce the message of like, look, we did everything right there. We didn't get discouraged when that catch by Volkart at the end kind of threatened the momentum of the point. I like what they were doing with Walsh too. Like once he was hitting, they also shifted him over to the side facing Volkart just to keep that pressure on that he was excelling with. So maybe a few things they can carry forward into the next couple points too.
And I think too, like, it's so good for coaches to be able to pick up when it is that they need to communicate things to their players and when to call those timeouts, because they do have timeouts per half. So if we're approaching the end of the half, maybe they want to take advantage of having that communication so that they can secure a few more points before moving into the second half.
Yeah, now those huddles break up as the timeout comes to the end. We get another view of that catch earlier by Volkart. We've still got a little over 4 minutes to go here in the first half. So yeah, Quebec could get another point or two with some strong play like that and set themselves up for a great second half.
Sampson on the Manitoba side, the solo rusher, checks the balls, takes the shot, and lands the hit at the player not expecting an attack from the Manitoba side on a defensive rush.
Yeah, that was a nice ball retrieval and then attack. Alfred Raju pays the price, and then Walsh taken out as well. So I'm sure Manitoba doesn't want to see Walsh getting going again like he just did on the last point. So right back at it is this Manitoba team. Oh, they get Blanchet as well. Nice throw by Ben.
Ben throwing a throw that was able to clip the fingers on the blocker, but getting hit out himself. So Manitoba still up 5 players to 3. A pre-counter coming in from the middle player on the Quebec side.
And I appreciate the wince on Germain Robitaille's face after missing that.
Yeah.
It does not feel good. But
No, definitely doesn't. Cross-court counter does not land. 2 players remaining on the Quebec side in defense as Manitoba approaches. Kemble taking the shot, getting that ball over the blockers and landing the hit.
and now just Nayu Réaume out there alone. He's been a great survivor for this Quebec team.
Jumping over both of those balls, hitting the Shagger. That was maybe the fastest that the Shagger got the ball into play based on that
Bouncing it
bounce.
right back into play into Gaza, yep. Rush counters coming in. Okay.
And through the blocker as well.
Yeah, some good quick attacks again from Manitoba, keeping that momentum in the match as they secure that point.
Now the coach on the Manitoba side is holding a face, a cutout face, and I'm not sure what the backstory is for that, but
I'm scared to ask.
It looks like it is a method to support, motivate, and encourage the team.
Oh, we got a false start call, I think. Yep. Line judge behind Manitoba. Sounds like Sampson maybe got a bit of an early jump.
Campbell's so eager to get into the game that his foot is not on the line at the start of the set.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. All right, nothing wrong with this one.
They almost got another false start. Oh, they did get a false start.
Oh.
So Sampson lifted his back heel up and his foot was not on the line when they whistled into play. The line ref tried to warn him before the whistle was blown, and unfortunately, player did not notice. Yeah.
Now demonstrating what has to happen. So.
Coaches advocating for their players, trying to communicate with the referees, but referees being firm on the call that was made. They call it for a reason because it is what they are seeing on the court, and that referee has the best view in the house for that.
Certainly as an athlete, it doesn't feel good, and it does mean Manitoba's going to start down a player here, although they immediately even it up. But to be honest, these are like the line stuff is the simplest stuff to call. As an official, it's right there in the rules. We should all know what it is. And so good awareness by the back judge here to make those calls, even though it feels bad when you're the team getting hit by those calls.
Definitely, yeah. So 4 balls on the side of Manitoba. A double throw, blocked. Even bodies on both sides, 5 players to 5.
Dutil back there, he's pretty hard to hit. Manitoba has done a good job with it, but he moves around well.
So we are in the last minute of play in this first half. Ashley Bend making a great catch. Should be bringing a player back. Oh, Sampson was brought back into play.
Another good catch from Bend, who's done some really good work. We're down in the final few seconds of this first half.
And a good counter coming in from Manitoba. Whistle goes, and we have 3 players remaining on the Quebec side, 5 players remaining on the Manitoba side. No blocking starting momentarily.
Yep, so obviously a little easier to face no blocking with the extra players, as Manitoba has. Quebec playing it a little safe initially. Nice movement by Dutil as usual.
Oh, so we just got some confirmation about the cutout face being held by the Manitoba team. Nick Grenier, another coach from the team who is being used to motivate the players based on his demeanor and
face.
And his face. Just seeing the face of Nick Grenier just motivates the Manitoba side to keep putting on that pressure and playing strong in this match.
There's a catch. Olivier Guerra finally pulling one in. They have all the balls. They get a clip onto Ben.
And they make another hit, turning the set.
Walsh and Guerra going to try and finish things off. Sampson, though, still out there. He's armed. He attacks. He misses.
Solo player left on the Manitoba side, dodging, countering, being dodged, pressuring up, deciding who am I going to target, where am I going to move. A player lines out and gets hit out. The fake worked in favor of Sampson, forcing a line out off the fake and just catching the Quebec player not ready.
It's a rare line out and hit.
Yeah, the Quebec side not happy about how that point ended. But in all aspects of the game, you need to be locked in and ready for what is happening in front of you on the court. So players switching sides, getting ready for the second half of this game. A little bit quiet in the gym right now.
It is early on a Sunday.
It is early on a Sunday. It was super loud while the game was playing, but it is now pretty quiet.
The disparity very noticeable.
Yeah.
And yesterday, my watch kept warning me about how loud it was in the gym. We had a lot of cheering from the teams as they had their big moments, from fans and supporters who are here in the building as well, cheering for the matches. So we had a lot of elevated volume here in the gym. My ears are fine, though. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I think that's a natural thing that happens at tournaments. You expect that it's going to be quite loud, and sometimes you take those breaks outside of the gym whenever you have a chance just to reset and hopefully not get a headache from the volume of things. A score check on the other court. So we have Team Ontario versus Team Alberta men's. Ontario playing up 6-2 points. So Ontario with the lead. It looks like they have started their second half and switched sides. So they are moving along with the game on the other court. A similar score to what we're seeing on our court with Manitoba and Quebec.
And during the round robin, Alberta and Ontario on the men's side did tie. So hard to know sometimes how that's going to translate to playoffs. It looks like Ontario's maybe found a few edges and been able to put some extra points together in the playoffs now.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was extremely close matches for the entire day among the men's division in round robin, with some matches being ties, some matches being 1 point differential. And so now that we're into playoffs, you've got all the tweaks with strategy and trying to ensure that your team has that upper hand and can capitalize in different moments.
And back here, as these teams switch sides, we've got the blue jerseys of the Quebec team on the near side now, the black of Manitoba on the far side. Look at this, back judge Marcel making sure people know this is how your feet have to be lined up. Don't make me call it again. Different team, could be the same call if you do the same thing.
And at this point in the tournament, there are not going to be any warnings. These are players playing at the most competitive level in the country of Canada. This is our official national tournament, and so the players should be trained and prepared and ready for the lines to be an element of the game.
So a nice effort from Ashley Ben there, trying to extend to find the ball that had bounced off of him. Couldn't quite do it. Dutil now hit out 3 balls invested toward him. But Manitoba, again, just really hitting on those shots at a rate that Quebec hasn't been able to match. So solo shots blocked.
Campbell taking that shot onto our middle player on the Quebec side, landing the hit.
And now a try toward Guerra.
A counter from both players on the Quebec side, both not landing.
Oh, finally getting through though. Campbell just waited for him to come in, and
he maintained that like holding the line there, and as soon as that player stepped one step closer, he took the shot. So Manitoba extending their lead even further.
Yeah, they're definitely looking like the stronger team at this point. They've put it together for over half the match.
Yeah, I think the Manitoba's team is definitely a team that might be a medal contender in this tournament. Even though they are in the losing bracket at the moment, they can still win their way through this bracket into the gold medal match. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out later into the day.
Yeah, we've seen when they are hot, when they're moving well and hitting those shots, sprinkling in some catches, they're a very tough team to beat, as Quebec is finding out now.
And you'll notice on the Manitoba side, they actually have switched out several players. So in the second half, they have started with, I think, four players who weren't on the court in the first half.
Yep, Como and Dubuque out there, and yeah, another grab coming in. I mean, Manitoba, I haven't actually been counting, but it feels like they've made about 10 catches to 2-ish for Quebec, so that's been a big difference.
Yeah, there's definitely been some catches on both sides, but Manitoba securing more catches, definitely.
Blanchet watching, Manitoba staying back, regrouping, and coming up with 3 now.
Gaza taking the shot from the middle, backtracking on defense. Quebec faking, setting up for a 4-ball play, taking the shot, and now settling into a 3-ball defense.
And there's an attack hitting low on Dutil. So another well-placed shot, sending a player to the side, and now Alfred Raju is going to have to take over that right side corner. Dubuque takes to the skies to get away from that ball. And Manitoba still with 6 players, 3 of them with balls coming to the line.
A cross court does not land from, and a player vulnerable on the Manitoba side, laying down on his back, setting himself for a catch, but getting hit in the side.
Yeah, and I like the way where Blanchet placed that ball. It was outside that catching zone. Ooh,
and
nice
a
throw.
Cross-court toe shot lands onto Gaza. So the Quebec side, 2 hits in a row.
Yeah, Alfred Raju, a long-range strike.
3 hits in a row on the Quebec side, but Blanchet also getting hit out. So we now have a 3v1.
All right, so still very doable. Alfred Raju is going to have to survive this, and I think he did.
Bounce. So he now has 5 balls in his possession. It is burden for Quebec to throw. Pressuring, faking, and crossing that middle line. Wow. Players are just so focused on their opponents in front of them that they are losing track of their positioning on the court. Both sides, it's an extremely competitive match. It is a match that makes a difference for whether or not you continue in this tournament. And so sometimes we've got our focus on the opponents and we lose track of our lines.
Yeah, and it's happened to everybody. Don't want to make it sound like it hasn't happened to me, or I'm sure to you as well. But yeah, very important to stay in there. Don't give your opponent free outs, and be able to do what you can on the court.
Definitely.
So hopefully we'll have the rest of the match kind of settled by what the players do in terms of blocking, dodging, throwing, catching.
Ball retriever on the Quebec side trying to secure that ball before it goes over the half, but not able to get that since it stayed inbounds.
Hey, there's a friendly bounce for the Quebec side.
A pop-up catch off of Blanchet's blocker is secured by the Quebec player.
Berube paying attention, and there's a nice try from Blanchet. Gravel hit. He's kind of caught in the back behind Blanchet.
Walsh also hit out on that. There was a double rush counter coming in from the Manitoba side and landing 2 hits.
Again, that accuracy on those single shots from Manitoba, doing good work. Gatza takes out Berube.
The blocker just a little too low to secure the defense on that.
Griffin Kvale now taking over that right side. It's the first time I think he's been on that ball retriever duty early in the match, but they've swapped him in. So Griffin Vale is still in the corner now with Guerra on the other side.
Both Manitoba players in the corners going low to defend from those incoming balls and popping up ready to pressure.
Looking to take a couple chips out of this Manitoba monolith. They've still got 5 out there.
Gaza relaying the play among his team. A little bit of excitement from court number 2 with some volume after Alberta closes the gap against Ontario.
That's 6-5 on that court, so they've rattled off at least 3 points in a row on the Alberta side. Meanwhile, that ball popping way up.
Hitting the ceiling and dropping back onto the court.
We haven't seen too many hit the ceiling in this venue, so.
So Gatza was the middle player, taking that shot, communicating the plays on the Manitoba side.
Griffin Vale still surviving it though, doing a good job with survivability here. Sends one in, that's low. Dubuque safe though.
I think you also see that captain's symbol on Gatza's jersey, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe he's in the captain's role on this team. Some teams sporting multiple captains too. I actually don't remember if there's another one.
We don't have the captains identified on the list in front of us, so.
Yeah, and if you wonder what it means to have the captain on the jersey, of course, those are the players that the refs will end up talking to if there's a need to talk to the team, or if some of your team members need to talk to the refs. Like you're supposed to send a captain or a coach over, generally not just anyone, and that's just to help manage what's going on the flow of the court.
And usually teams will select a player who is an excellent communicator and respectful athlete to be in that captain's role. Gaza communicating effectively with his team on court, and that translates to also being able to advocate for the team in that role.
Meanwhile, they've still got 6. It's Dubuque. That first throw. Okay, a throw toward the middle from Saya. I like the try. Go toward that clump of players.
Oh, okay, so we... Okay, so we have confirmation of the captain and assistant captains on the Manitoba side. So our official captain from Team Manitoba is Wilmont. And I believe Wilmont is not on the court right now, but we saw him on the court holding down the left side corner for his team earlier in the match. And so Gaza is in the assistant captain role, and there is another assistant captain, Owen Campbell, also not on the court right now, but was playing right corner earlier in the match.
Finnegan, Griffin Vale indicating he was hit out on a little graze, and now Manitoba finishing it off. They still had all 6 out there. Just another really strong point from them. And a little interesting note too, this Quebec men's team is actually being coached by 2 players out of Ottawa. You see David Armstrong and Kevin Wu over there as coaches. Both, longtime Dodgeball Ottawa players. Kevin Wu participating in the national team program last year.
Strong connections from the Quebec and Ottawa players. They are close in range to each other, that you can cross over the Quebec-Ontario border and be able to be within range for getting together and joining for practices. So it is great that there are some Ottawa players who are able to step into this role as coach for the Quebec side.
And Ottawa, obviously a pretty bilingual city. I know when I lived there and I practiced my French, pretty much everyone immediately recognized what was going to happen, and they switched to English for my sake.
I mean, you got to try, right?
Well, I tried, but when you live in Southern Ontario, nobody really uses it after you stop taking it in school, so it's not great coming out of me. So.
That is true. There are some areas throughout Canada that are more bilingual than others. I also am in the GTA area, and while I see many French immersion programs in schools, I do not teach French, and I also do not speak French. So anytime that I am filling in for a fellow teacher in that role, I hope that there's somebody who can support as students are learning the language.
Yeah, we do our best when it comes up, but we appreciate that our French athletes tolerate our pronunciations of their names sometimes.
And accommodate too. I had the privilege of playing with a Quebec team at the Club Nationals this year on Pitch Perfect. Many of those girls being on the women's Quebec squad this year at this tournament. And they were quite accommodating to me with the language barrier, communicated with me in English, and I did my best to also communicate as well, but they were very accommodating for my limitation with language.
Now off the rush, it's again defensive all around. I think with the gap being what it is, I do think we'll see players take. They will still take chances, of course, but some of the more extreme efforts and more ambitious plays, at this point, maybe not wanting to risk it as much as you might have otherwise.
Yeah. At this point in the game, Manitoba has a commanding lead. I think we can say that they are the definitive winner of this match, and we are now playing out the time. Quebec still playing strong and being competitive in this match. Manitoba maintaining that lead and securing the win for themselves.
Yeah, with just about 6 minutes to go, it's obviously a 10-point deficit is huge in the best of times. 6 minutes, not going to be enough to make that up, but it's no reason to give up on the match, of course. There's always pride and future play with these teammates.
Definitely.
And just all kinds of reasons to keep going. So I'm pleased to see that Quebec, even though the result is currently tough, we still see a good level of energy and compete from them. Of
course. One thing that just came to mind for myself is, maybe there's an advantage to getting into the loser bracket early on, because if you continue in this bracket, you're going from win to win to win, and that might be in the favor of the team that comes and joins the losers bracket after losing a match. Maybe they might come into that match a little bit defeated, not as much momentum for their side. So Manitoba could be able to roll that momentum into this next match when they compete against the team that loses on court 2.
Yeah, that match currently 7-5 Ontario, so they did stem the bleeding a little bit. get out to a 2-point edge, but we'll have to see how that match finishes out. And as we see a 4-on-4 exchange here in our match.
2 throws going onto the right corner of Manitoba. He is able to evade. Manitoba coming up for a 4-ball play, sending 1. Quebec now advancing for the play, making the hit, but getting countered out in the middle. Cross court does not land. Player dodges on the backtrack, but we lose our left side corner on the Quebec side. So now, actually, we have just 1 player remaining on the Quebec side.
Dutil tripping over Gravel a bit, and then,
finger block for the win on the Manitoba side.
Mayu Rayom had a tough ask there, not quite able to survive alone. He's been a good survivor for this team. He's been the last one out there, but when there's still, say, 4 opponents, it is tough. Obviously, at this level, I think a lot of us who, we might have fond memories of playing rec and just like, 1-on-4, I can handle this.
Yes.
But it gets so much harder, obviously, as the opponents get this much stronger.
And 2, I think because the Quebec side has been in a deficit situation consistently throughout this match, that puts a lot of pressure on the player. And sometimes you might be able to get that momentum to secure that win in one of the situations. It is hard to keep doing that over and over and over again, especially when fatigue starts to hit in and a little bit of that that feeling of defeat once you realize, I'm the last one again. So right now we are finishing up a timeout and setting up again for our next opening rush.
We've got about 4 minutes still to go. 12-1 in favor of Manitoba. They're obviously going to be feeling good about their performance in this match. And to your point from earlier, hopefully this means they feel like they're carrying that momentum forward. Those losers bracket runs, they can be, I don't want to say a boon to get knocked down to this division early, but taking the best part of it can mean you've got a big winning streak heading into the finals if you're the team that makes it through. So see if Manitoba was able to put that together. And Gatsa showing he made a catch off of someone.
Oh, okay, so we've got something happen there.
A little bit of talking. See referee Nathan Herbert is trying to make sure it's sorted out. Coach Mergler's crossed the line to talk things over as well. He's on the court, now communicating also with Coach Sanch, who comes out with the Grenier face in tow.
One thing I really love about Manitoba's approach to this tournament this year is the fact that many of their veteran Team Canada athletes have stepped into the role of coach as opposed to playing on the team this season. And I think that is an incredible thing to do in terms of growing the sport in your community, promoting motivation among young athletes, that there is potential that they can be selected to be on this team and have that development in a program that supports them as an athlete. And we're seeing that coaching is supporting them throughout this match and helping them to maintain that dominant lead.
Coach Sanch out there, one of those fixtures of the women's dodgeball side in Manitoba, and Jason Mergler, of course, a longtime face of just Canadian dodgeball on the men's side. I know Mergler's recovering from a surgery right now too, and so I love that he's giving back still in terms of a coaching role. Like you're saying, if you can't play or feels like it's better not to play right now, there's still a lot of value he can bring as one of those veterans.
I think that's the same situation that we see for the coach on the Quebec women's. Corinne Biron is also recovering from a surgery and stepped into the role of coach to help develop athletes in the Quebec community while not being able to participate herself.
Oh, and there's another pop-up catch. Manitoba still finding those late in the match. Dutil unfortunately caught out and slumps off to the side.
And another shout out to the face cutout of Nick Grenier being held high for his team. So another veteran athlete who is coaching and supporting the Manitoba squad this season.
Now that we have a close-up of it, I can actually make out that it's Grenier. From where we're seated, I definitely could not tell.
No, I just see facial hair and a little bit of hair on the top. That's all I can see from my distance.
Appreciate getting that close-up there. Thank you, Bryce.
The Manitoba community is well known for doing some fun things to create community at tournaments. Rainbow Thunder traditionally selecting a Spirit Award to be awarded to players that they play against at tournaments. So it's nice to see those community elements being shown at the tournaments.
Why don't we do that in Toronto? Why don't we have fun in no. Obviously, Dodgeball Toronto, we love your tournaments.
It takes that leadership of somebody deciding, I'm going to do this, and then just executing it, I guess. And it's on the team specifically to do that themselves, I guess. I know the Toronto tournaments, they've started to implement MVP awards. So after each match, the opposing team selects a player on the opposite team to be the MVP of that match. And that player that is selected as the overall tournament MVP does receive an award at the end of the tournament.
And there are so many facets to running tournaments well. Like, there's so many different things to get right among the foundational stuff, and then the bonus stuff that's kind of layered on top to make each tournament special in its own way.
Mitch doing a great job retrieving that ball that came up into the Volunteers commentary area. Gets securing a catch with his knees and bringing the player count 6-1 in favor of Manitoba. And that closes the game. It looks like we are shaking hands on the side of the court for court 2. I cannot see the score at the moment, but it looks like it was a close match.
Yeah, 8-5 Ontario, 8-5 it looks like.
In favor of Ontario. So Ontario is remaining in that winner's bracket, and they will be playing against the men's BC team in their next matchup. And that means that Alberta men's will be joining the Manitoba men's in the next loser bracket game.
Yeah, and just in case people are wondering, this match, that last hit happened with about 28 seconds to go. And so because we're in that final 30 seconds, it would have gone to no blocking, but because this match wouldn't be changed by that no blocking point, that's the point when they call it. So you see the respectful high fives, handshakes, and smiles in the line, but that is the end of the tournament for Quebec. Again, good showing from them, even though the score was really unfortunate here. They still had a good compete level. They were still showing a lot of effort here first thing in the morning, and big respect to them.
Yeah, incredible respect to all athletes coming out and participating in this tournament. It is an extremely competitive tournament. You've got top-tier players from all 5 provinces that are participating, and so Manitoba securing the win, Quebec being the first men's team to be eliminated from the tournament. Now, it looks like we have our schedule pulled up, and it is a women's match that is taking place next. It is which teams? I can't see.
Here we see the Alberta women in the black and pink jerseys warming up.
So Alberta women's and BC women's would be the next matchup in the loser bracket of the tournament. BC would have faced off against the Ontario women's in the first match of the day today. Ontario women's winning that match, so sending BC into that loser bracket to face off against Alberta. And Alberta did win their match against Quebec earlier today, so they maintain their spot in this tournament.
Yeah, but that'll do it for now. So we'll be back with that women's match in just a few minutes.
I think there's a men's match happening on court 2 as well.
Oh.
So that is actually going to be the Manitoba men's and the Alberta men's moving into that game immediately. They do not get a game break. So in order to keep going in this tournament, they need to win that match. So the winner of that match will continue in the loser bracket, and the loser will be eliminated from the event.
Like we're seeing those team photographies happening, tournament staff and supporters getting the pictures in there for the record, and big smiles still from the Quebec players and supporters.
Yeah, all the Quebec players lining up as a group, getting a team photo on the court here. Unfortunately, both the women's and men's Quebec teams have been eliminated from the tournament, and so the day is done for them. And so they are set to continue watching the tournament and supporting and moving into that fan role, or they are free to leave and head home.
I hope they don't, but.
And so that is, there's a player selected for the All-Star match, so there might be some Quebec players sticking around for that later on today.
Yeah, very true. We've got a men's and women's All-Star event happening toward the middle of the day. We'll be seeing that in a little while. I forget exactly what time, although I should be able to see that on the schedule here. Coming up at 11:30 for the women's event and 12:15 for the men's. So you'll see that right after this upcoming match.
I guess that is the case. So once we move into that All-Star match, we will then only have one port continuing for the remainder of the day. So after the match of Manitoba men's versus Alberta men's, actually, they switched courts. Sorry, so they have switched the courts for the current round. So the women's match is actually being played on court number 2 now, and that is Alberta women's versus BC women's. And on the live stream match, we have Alberta men's versus Manitoba men's. And I think the swap was made because they want us to be commentating on the excitement happening on the men's side.
Yeah, I know sometimes these matches are switched around just in terms of what makes the most sense for the broadcast. We'll have to see what the official reasoning is if we get that in a little bit, but
I believe that the Alberta team has not had a playoff match for the men's side in the stream court.
I mean, that'd be a good reason.
So in the previous game when they played earlier, they were on court number 2. Manitoba was on the live stream court in their previous match against BC. And so because we want to ensure that all teams have an opportunity to be on the live stream court with the commentary, it makes sense that they would switch to have the Alberta men's squad game on this court.
Okay, well, I think we're going to take a short break, let these teams warm up, give ourselves a little break, and we'll be back with you with a men's match between Manitoba again and Alberta for the first time here in the playoffs. So stick with us, and we'll be back for more. And we're back here at Canadian Nationals. Terry Thrasher and Michelle Dermott once again bringing you the action. And hey, we already have a backline violation.
So right now we've got the Alberta men's versus the Manitoba men's playing in a consecutive match. They both just played in a match on the courts earlier. Alberta losing to Team Ontario, now being sent into the loser bracket of this double elimination tournament, and Manitoba men's winning against Quebec, remaining in the tournament and securing their spot in this match.
Right away, I like what I'm seeing from Sakura, doing a good job of directing things on the court. Again, as one of those national team players who's got a ton of experience, came over from Ontario, and I like how he was trying to control the space for that ball in sort of neutral territory. They're not able to get the hit, but over on the other side, Manitoba does get a hit, knocking Chang off.
Now Alberta setting up for a play. It does land, so now they're up one body over the Manitoba side. Sakura also making the hit, and we are now 3v1.
Wilmot, of course, the last one left for Manitoba here.
And we had confirmation that he is the captain on the Manitoba squad, correct?
Yeah, we may be able to make out the C on his jersey there.
Yes, I believe he is the official captain of the Manitoba team.
So, okay, I think there, Wilmot looked like he acknowledged a hit. Checking with the referees. And I think the refs, and I think Sakura too, confirming that they thought it was just block.
Right. So now it is 2 players to 1 in favor of Alberta, but they are on the defense with no balls in hand. Sakura moving laterally, evading those throws.
The rush counters come, they miss. Good dodging. Sakura so hard to hit even when you're straight on him, and see Sean Chien doing a good job of that dodging as well. So good mobility from these Alberta players. Still pressure too. They don't want to let Wilmot get easy space here.
And that really quick duck to the side with the ball pushing out to protect and the blocking.
Good finish.
Cross court comes in and Alberta secures that first point.
And we get a nice view of that final shot. GM finishing things off. And so one thing that'll be interesting for Manitoba, if Alberta keeps hitting shots the way they are, this is kind of not what Quebec was able to do to Manitoba. And then that Manitoba squad might have to adjust how they approach the match. Like, it can be a very big tone shift if you're playing consecutive matches and the team you're playing ends up just doing things the other team didn't.
Right. Cody Foley able to drop low and duck under both of those incoming balls. On the side of the Manitoba, I'm not seeing that Grenier face being held up yet, but we'll probably see that come out later into the match.
They save it for when they need it. Just shouting out in a brief lull here, it looks like you previously mentioned Karine Biron back there as the backline judge. So showing up here at Nationals, again, as we mentioned, recovering from surgery.
So Campbell jumping, landing on the line and being called out.
Oh, there's some good,
okay, hits, block,
good connections.
Hits, catch. So the Alberta side is now 6 players to 3. A pop-up catch is secured on the Manitoba side, keeping Bend in the game and bringing Campbell back in. But there is a drop of water, or a splash of water from sweaty bodies on the court. Stopping play for player safety, and now the Manitoba side is going to set up for a 5-ball attack.
And that pop-up catch, a nice play by Riel Wilmot, like turning around, popping into the air, and just snagging that ball in danger of being out of play. So good play from him, showing the captainly duties. And now Alberta's going to have to do it with just 3. Sakura the target, popping up. He's so quick to get in it. He misses, though. And
what happened there? Oh, I guess a player was called out for a missed block. And now we have 4 players to 2.
Okay, so Wong able to take Wilmot off.
So closing that player gap.
Sakura comes up. Oh, and he ends up, it pops up.
Pop-up catch off of Campbell secures that catch from Sakura, and Manitoba is able to close that second set of the game.
That looked like it was going to be serious risk of a double instead, but I think, was that Como able to secure it? I actually couldn't see who grabbed it, but then the hit on the other side happening onto Wong.
If I had better eyesight. I think you're right, but I could be wrong.
I don't know about a high degree of confidence. Let's just put it that way. Wilmot. Okay, so this is interesting. Wilmot often their rusher, but he also seems to like moving over to the other other side, sorry. And being told it was actually Hickaway who secured that catch, so full credit to him.
Perfect.
Tracking it down as it threatened to bounce away.
So Manitoba with a player advantage currently.
Bend getting grazed out. There's another nice hit into Wong. It pops up.
Pop-up catch secured again, bringing Bend back into the court. And now we have a 5v2 in favor of Manitoba. Balls connect mid-air, but I think there was 2 balls that came in onto the Alberta player, and he was hit by one of them.
And even if 2 balls thrown by the same team hit in the air, there's still live balls hitting each other. So.
Yeah, it was the ball that deflected into Ashley Bend that was a deflection off of the other ball. So that's why Bend is still on the court, but the other player was hit by a valid ball.
Makes sense. Now Chang gonna have to do things alone. Still staring down 3. Wilmot getting a hit there. We see the acknowledgement.
Manitoba getting some momentum rolling with their squad. Those pop-up catches early in the game have been a turning point for them so far in this game.
And one thing that was interesting on the pop-up catch that went across that Wilmot ended up securing, there was a cover shot put on by the player on the right side of Alberta who took a shot onto, I think, Falk, who was looking for it, hitting Falk, but then Wilmot actually jumped over him to be the one to make the catch. So it was a heads-up play on both sides, and really good play as you'd expect here at Nationals.
Ashley Benn being hit out by Dan Foley. Sakura also being hit out on the line. We have player
And Wilmot
advantage.
at the back.
Oh, and Wilmot at the back as well. Okay, so something is being discussed among the referees. Currently, we have 5 players on the Alberta side and 4 players on the Manitoba side. And with a game like this, it is high stakes. If you win, you remain in the event. And so both teams are going to be doing everything they can to be the team that wins.
And a good hard shot from Foley, taking out Kemble. Foley, of course, having been a national team member in the US and in Canada. And now he's holding down that left side, providing a bit of cover for that shot from Mike Koo. That ball coming in from the far side. If you're wondering why would a ref be ball retrieving for one of the teams. And this is Robbie as the head ref here, putting things back in play. Manitoba coming to the line, 4 balls. They get a nice hit onto Hui.
So now, since we have player advantage on the side of Alberta, it is their burden to throw in this play. A counter comes up. A catch!
Oh, another one.
Another incredible tracking midair, bending his body backwards, reaching his hands and getting that grab.
That was Hickaway again, finding, just like tracking those balls down when they can be tough to find. And another
Bend
great play.
able to get out of the way of that ball coming in from Foley.
On the backup, Foley is the target, and
Foley is clipped by the cross-court shot. 2 players to 3 in favor of Manitoba.
Okay, Ben trying to keep Chim off that ball, but good play by Wong and Chim to get control of it. Only 1 ball in hand for Manitoba. That is the targeted player, of course. That's Como. But they don't connect, and so now Manitoba's going to get to set up.
Como is holding the line, pressing and faking in front of Wong so that Wong is not able to take a shot while the other players on his team take down the left corner on the Alberta team. Shot flying into the bench.
I think Coach Sanch absorbing that one.
And a catch is made, but then Wong is hit out. So Sakura is coming back in on the court. 1v2.
Sakura sends bandana now.
Makes the hit, blocked into the feet of Como. 1v1.
Sakura's added a lot of movement on some of those shots in recent years and
Gets
it through.
It was just into the pocket, but poked out and hits the ground before he's able to make another one of those incredible catches he's been doing all day long.
You get another view here of Sakura finishing things off. And of course, you expect nothing less from a lot of these players, just having that ability to try and clutch out these situations. Hickaway kind of coming close to pulling in that grab too, but just wasn't able to do it this time, and so Alberta ties things up at 2. Right away
Opening rush fake and a shot from the Alberta side. Nothing connecting. Manitoba settling in for offense. Foley dropping low again. Being targeted quite frequently on the left-hand side corner. Campbell taking the shot at Sakura. Sakura also dropping low under that ball.
Wilmot has the only ball now for Manitoba. He does
Takes
get a
that
shot.
cross court, does secure the hit, and Alberta also makes a hit.
Yeah, they get Falk off the court. Bend letting it go from the middle. Cover shot from Foley, another long try coming in. A lot of these players pretty comfortable taking the shot from basically the back line.
And you can see that like battle we're seeing. Wilmot getting caught. Sakura coming back in on the court. Campbell holding down the right side on the Manitoba squad. And Ashley Bend getting tagged out by 2 balls in this play.
Yeah, so Alberta looking strong at the moment. There's still a lot of work to do though, and a hit onto Campbell.
Now, that was an interesting formation there. Campbell electing to hold 2 balls on the defense,
Hickaway was in the middle.
Hickaway in the middle with no balls. I think maybe the judgment call there was that Hickaway is making so many catches. Let's keep him ballless so that he can potentially bring a player back on the court for us and protect Campbell a little bit more with 2 blockers in hand. Unfortunately, it does clip his fingers. Hickaway getting knocked out on the offense. Foley taking that pre-counter right while he's approaching. 6 players to 1. No catch is secured, so Alberta taking the lead in this match.
Yeah, we see the right approach, I think, from Como, or at least one of the right approaches, trying to force the catch. I mean, if you're down 4 or 5 players on one, you're probably going to need to catch to swing it around, unless you really feel like you can just kind of survive those throws well enough to just pick people off. But I think looking for a catch, it's been working for Manitoba a lot, so.
I agree, and to be honest, I think like some players have started to train themselves to put the ball that they have in their possession between their legs while they go for that catch, so that they keep their hands as an option, keep their body tight so that they're making a pocket for themselves, and then they also have something within reach so that they can respond quickly. And that's something that we saw from Como on the Manitoba side.
Seen a few quick hits off this point. One of the things I liked about the Alberta rush is they really controlled a lot of the space in front of them before getting a hit, but Manitoba able to get a few more. And they've got a 5-3 player edge right now, although they do lose one. Some good quick shots.
So both sides losing players. So now it is 3 players to 2 in favor of Manitoba. No longer. It is now a 2v2.
Good connections here. Alberta currently firing well to get those player counts even, and of course a lot of good movement from both players on both sides. On defense,
Ben getting hit in the leg on his planted foot on a cross court, and Wilmot being tagged out. I don't know if there was a catch and a hit on him there, but regardless, the point is done, and Alberta has increased their lead.
Timeout called by Manitoba. And yeah, Wilmot, I mean, he did that good lateral and low movement, but I think Alberta's been able to read that when they aren't directly under pressure. They're just waiting just long enough to see where the movement is, and then they're able to get those shots on the player where they're going.
And I think in this situation, Wilmot, knowing that he was the last player in a 2v1 situation, he wanted to take the risk to take out one of the throwers and then square up for the one that would be coming in at him. And unfortunately, it just didn't work in his favor in that situation.
I see a couple of coaches listed for Alberta here. It's Ian Randall, himself an Ontario player, although he's coached and participated on Say an Elite quite a bit, got that connection with Sakura and Foley. Grant Freeman as well, out there as a coach. We've actually seen Freeman, this isn't just a coach's job, but we've seen him doing the toweling duties a few times when they spot the liquid on the court.
Yeah, I think that's a role that any player or any person on the sideline can support with. We've got high-intensity match taking place, and there was no false start called there because the referee did not call ready, and so he wasn't actually starting the opening rush play at that moment.
That's right. If you're so fast that they haven't even gotten set, it's not a false start.
Of course. So now we've got a shot from Bend landing on the Alberta player in the middle.
Who getting out of the way of that shot, and Bend again a target.
Getting hit by Cody Foley.
Shots from Manitoba come in toward Foley, who goes up, manages to evade both balls. The Alberta side talking, they send just one in the Kemble direction.
It looks like that was a line call. Yeah. Player throwing, stepping on the line, being called out by the referee, who is diligently watching where all the players are on the court.
That's surviving as he gets back.
And protecting Kemble in the process. Kemble was vulnerable on the ground there, and Gatsa protected, blocked, and jumped and dodged. So great teamwork on the Manitoba side.
They come to the line again. Some fakes. It's Wilmot's take. Foley popping up. And then faking before Alberta sets up and sends just one onto Kemble. Nice hit. Mike Koo is going to defer that corner now. Sakura taking over on that side as Gatsa making the call. Coming to the line, he's the one who takes it. And the friendly bounce. And unfortunately for Alberta, it's on them to throw next, despite the friendly bounce. And Wilmot getting Foley.
So we now have 4 players in favor of Manitoba, 3 on the Alberta side. A great jump.
I think we saw a call for a wipe down.
Oh, yeah. So we're at the point in the day where these players are playing their second match in a row. And they have been putting a lot of effort into the plays that they're doing, and bodies get very sweaty very quickly in the sport of dodgeball.
And you see players sometimes when they're dodging or moving around, they end up skidding on the ground, obviously.
Yeah,
and it might seem silly, but like we do have to clean that up as they come up, because it can be a pretty significant tripping hazard.
Yeah, definitely. And exactly what you're saying, like players are doing what they can to survive, and dropping down to the ground is a great move to get low under a ball that is sailing. So it is very common for a lot of the men's players and the women's players to drop to the ground and kind of slide back, leaving a snail trail of sweat on the floor.
So as we get back into this, there's a shot right into the middle, Hickaway connecting. And starting to just whittle this Alberta team down. They're down to 2. 4 still strong for Manitoba. They go towards Sakura. There's his movement. That ball pops up. Wilmot tracking it down. Nice grab.
And once again, Sakura is in a position where he is solo player on the court in a deficit situation.
And he just put that one between Gatsa and Como.
You see Sakura smiling, big smiles, thinking, okay, let's do this.
He was just a brief exchange with Coach Randall over there on the sideline too. So
2 shots coming out from Sakura on different targets, pushing, clipping Hickaway in the middle, changing up the targets, but Como able to secure that trade onto Sakura to secure the point for Team Manitoba.
I think we see another timeout here, this time from Alberta. Very good decisiveness from Como there, because one of the problems with letting a player like Sakura operate kind of uncontested is, I think, even in these situations where he's down a bunch, obviously he's had a lot of success at the international level. And one of the things I really like about Josh Sakura's game is he's really, really good at misdirection when he's setting up for those throws.
I agree. Like, he threw at not the same target twice in a row at all on that 1v situation.
Yeah, and he's as good as anybody I've seen at making his feet point one way, but his hips or his shoulders point another way, and then potentially even delivering a ball in a third direction. So it's one of those things that's hard to do without losing a lot of power or accuracy on your throw. But again, I think Josh Sakura is as good as anyone I know of at doing that kind of thing. And that means even if you've got a 4-on-1 player edge,
Yeah.
if you give them the space to operate, you run the risk of just getting picked off. So
Definitely.
I really like the aggressiveness from Como. You take that space and those options away from your opponents and secure the point.
And two, Josh won a 1v situation earlier in the game. And so Manitoba ensuring that didn't happen a second time in a row.
Josh Sakura now going crop top option with his jersey. Okay, it's back to normal.
Get a little bit of breathing room. Let the heat off the body come out.
And they put Bryce Parody out there on the Alberta side. First time we've seen him in the match. Manitoba having Dubuque out there.
Ball going up off of Campbell, but not able to stay within reach for a teammate. Cross
Ooh,
court,
there's a bounce.
pop up, caught, hit out, and a juggling between the ball and Wilmar, and lands on the ground.
Kos, Sanch, unhappy about something. There is a lot of chaos there.
So I was focusing on, from my point of view, the right side of the court, looking at that action between Manitoba's left side corner and Alberta's right side corner. I did not see what was happening on the left side of the court where Cody Foley and Ashley Bend are. We see them waving respectfully back and forth to each other as the refs discuss what is going on in this situation. So we will get some confirmation on what happened very soon.
I know, for example, Bend had thrown a ball that had hit one of his targets ahead of him and moved over to the right side where it was a pop-up catch. That's one of the things that happened, and I wonder if the conversation is about kind of the sequencing and timing. It can get complicated if there are multiple balls thrown that hit someone and pop in the air.
Yeah.
And it's very hard as a referee to keep track of, like, okay, well, if that ball got caught before this happened, then actually that ball thrown might not have been alive. But, like, there can be a bunch of that anybody is only going to be able to see, like, one slice of the action happening.
Yeah.
And that's going to be what they think should happen, but...
And that's exactly why they come into a huddle as a unit. So the referees come together, they discuss, what did we see happening in this play? Like, what did you notice? What did you see? What was the timing of things? And then they confirm as a group to make a final decision on what is best for the play. If the play is not something that is able to be determined because we didn't have eyes on the action, there is that potential that they will rewind the play back to prior to the action happening. So I'm curious to see what the decision is. It looks like they are still discussing with coaches and relaying the information to the coaches of the teams.
Yeah, and when these take a long time, it's just like you said, a lot of times the referees are often checking with the back judges as well, like which part of the play did you see? When you've got the two refs in the court, you're normally trying to focus on different areas so that when it is chaotic, you have multiple perspectives that can help kind of stitch together what happened.
Yeah.
But this is quite a huddle. Sakura trying to keep things lively. Oh, never mind, not so lively.
Yeah, arms up in the air, not a smile on his face, laying on the ground now.
I want to see crunches from him if he's down like that. I mean,
I don't think he needs to do any crunches right now. I think he's doing enough ab work with all of the dodging, the laterals, the movement, the throws, everything that he's been doing on the court. So we are returning to play. Looks like everybody is getting ready. The coaches are communicating to their players what happened, what the ruling was, and now they are setting up for the gameplay. Okay, so an extra ball was in play, and that caused some confusion among all players. So it looks like one of the balls that might have been on the sideline maybe got knocked off of the table and taken by a ball retriever by mistake.
Yeah, and that, to your point earlier about when you're forced to rewind the action as a referee, like if you realize a seventh ball was in play for a while, I mean, it changes so much that it's kind of hard to let it stand.
Definitely, and I think the right move in that type of situation would be to rewind the play to the point where the 7th extra ball wasn't in the game. I can't recall where we were at before all that action happened, but currently we have 3 players on the Alberta side, and now we've got 2 players on the Manitoba side.
A little bit of exasperation from Sakura. Coach Randall trying to make sure he stays calm.
All right. Is this no blocking?
We are at that time.
The whistle stopped the play in that last moment to signal our no blocking round. 3 players to 2 in favor of Alberta. Sidestepping, Sakura survives that pre-counter.
And Dubuque doing that long slide along the back line too.
Again, getting that hit. We have a 1v1. Once again, Sakura being the last player on the team.
Oh, there's the hit.
And securing that win. He is now 2 solos, winning points for his team out of the 3 times that he's been the last player on the court.
Yeah, he finished that point with a bit of stank face, like he was listening to some heavy metal riffs. But yeah, coming through clutch, we've seen that often from Josh Sakura. Obviously, he's been a dodgeball star for a long time, and I mean, it's the accuracy and the fact that he stays so calm under pressure that often impresses me, while he still keeps that energy level so high. Like his energy level never seems to flag.
Yeah.
And I think for top players, that's one of the things that conditioning and that energy is so important to keep up there.
Yeah, and you can tell his mental game is also to the extreme in this sport. Being well known as one of the top players in Canada, one of the players who is able to be in those deficit situations and make the right decisions and execute what is necessary to win those points for his team. Well known as one of the top players in the province.
Yeah, and at the same time,
in the country. Sorry,
yeah, I'd say the whole country for sure.
Yeah.
But to Manitoba's credit, a lot of times they've been able to get multiple balls on him.
Okay, so we have confirmation on the long discussion that happened in the previous match. So there was a 7th ball that caused some confusion. There was hits that landed on both sides. So 2 players were out on both of the teams. And then they resumed play with 4v4 after that discussion.
Yeah, splitting the difference on the outs that they saw happening while that 7th ball was in play. Sometimes that's the best available option. Trying to keep track of when did that 7th ball come in. Like, as a player, I've had those moments where, we talked a bit yesterday about how players will tend to develop a sense of where all 6 balls are. That can still mean it takes a second to register, like, wait, I see 4 balls over there, but we've got 3 balls. That's a problem. And if you're a ref too, you're looking at both sides different times. You're not necessarily, like, it's not part of the mental checklist to say, wait, how many balls are there? Because there are almost always 6. And so it can take a second for that to really register, I find.
Yeah, definitely. So in this next matchup, it looks like, what's happening?
I thought we were about to start.
I thought we were about to start, but I guess they have a little bit more time on the clock before the second half is about to start. Or it could be that a team has called a timeout. They've got plenty of the time. The players were lining up, and the ref said, hey, by the way, there's still this amount of time before you actually get to start the second half. So they are now recuperating, talking, keeping themselves warm. You see a player on the Alberta side doing a little bit of a dance on the court with his feet, keeping himself warm and ready on the toes and all set to get started in the second half.
Every day he's shuffling. But yeah, I'm not clear on the rule set actually. If both teams were to say line up just halfway through the halftime and just say like, hey, we're ready to go, I'm not sure if they'd start it. I think they probably would, but
Yeah, I think they are going to probably start a little bit early now that they are lining up, eager to get going and keep their bodies warm as they move into the second half.
yeah, it's a 5-3 edge for Alberta. It feels like it's been such a close match. Nothing doing off this rush. Again, that defensive style from Wilmot and the Manitoba side working well for starting them off with a full 6.
So a shot from Bend lands onto Foley. Foley had just thrown on an offensive play and was ballless on the backtrack.
Nice block by
Bend
Dubuque, and
catching a
wow.
point-blank counter and securing that for his team. It is now 6 players to 4 in favor of Manitoba.
And we're seeing a lot of good fluidity. Wilmot and Ben swapping regularly on who's actually playing the corner. It seems like generally in offensive situations, it's Ben who gets traded out there with Sakura, and in defensive situations, it switches to Wilmot.
And you
Although
know
now
what?
this is fun.
Actually, what I was going to say, Wilmot has been playing both corners.
Yep.
So he's been switching, and I think, sorry, I don't know if you already said this, but if I zoned out for a second. You probably just said that, and anyway.
More that he was bouncing from the just inside position to the corner with Bend, but you're right. We've seen Wilmot take the rush off the right side and then swing all the way over to the left corner. And I wonder if that's a matchup thing or a personnel thing on their own side that they're choosing to do.
I think it's a matchup thing because when Foley was across from Bend, Sakura swapped into the corner. Wilmot wanted to face up against Sakura, captain versus captain, and in this set, it is in the favor of Manitoba currently being up 1 body.
Farron's out there on the Alberta right side, number 3, first time in the match, I believe, for him. He's holding down one of those side positions, and again, we see an empty hands for the middle player on Alberta and 2 in hand for Koo on their left corner side. So another situation where they're electing to have somebody no balls in hand. It's Farron there who's taken out.
And Wilmot crossing a counter into the middle and making the hit.
Wilmot the
Jumping
target.
high. A point-blank shot to the face. Was that Wong that
was
took it?
Koo.
Coon.
And so now it's down to Nick Twees, the last one out there for Alberta, going to try and get somebody. He gets Como.
Como in blocking position, but ball too high for him to get it.
And that was a good chance for Hui to let go of that second ball because his opponents were not armed. He wasn't under stress. It pays off as he takes out Como. And it looks like Wilmot making the call from the right side here. Hui keeping his balance. Attacks toward Wilmot. And again, good ups though to get away. And no, that one bounced. Wilmot confirming too, like he knows. As
It
well.
was a great pressure up to attack, but ball sailing too low.
Oh, Dubuque, tricked a bit by that shot. He looked like he was ready for the block, but. So it's down to a 2-on-1, but let's see if they can close them out. Not quite yet. He steps into it, a good defensive play. It's the balls collide. Wilmot coming right up, but it's blocked. And again, what a flurry.
He hits.
And I think maybe caught.
Hits, and it was definitely a hit.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see what the refs say about that play. Manitoba has 2 bodies on the court, so even if it is a trade between Wilmot and the Alberta player, we still have a player on the court for the Manitoba side. And they have been awarded the set.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the conversation was. From where we were sitting, it looked pretty clear like Wilmot landed that hit. Like there was something like 4 balls, each of them threw at each other, but Wilmot coming through with the last one. So even if he did get hit, like unless the conversation was he got hit first, maybe, but I don't know. I think that looked like the right call. So we'll start things off. Manitoba still down by 1. Shot from Dubuque into the middle. Seems like maybe the timer taking a bit of extra seconds to get rolling, but it's underway now.
Ashley Ben trying to secure that pop-up off of himself. It is just out of reach, and he is heading to the outline.
Nice shot by Falk, connecting, sending Wong to the side. This is a very close match.
And this is a critical point. This is a point where Manitoba could tie the match if they are the victors. And this is also the point where Alberta can pull away with it if they secure the win. So both sides locked in, pressing.
Sean Forand just looking skyward after getting hit by a feet-seeking missile there. Sakura off-platform throw gets it on, right on. But nicely blocked, Dubuque hanging in there. Okay, they're back up to the line here. There's another hit. Wilmot again, certainly not just a defensive player. He's been connecting on a lot of these shots. Alberta trying to hold the line. Now Sakura, little head shake as he's out there solo one more time. He's got 5 on the court against him.
Fourth time solo makes a hit on the defense.
Falk was feeling confident about that shot opportunity, but yeah, there we get the hit by Kemble.
So 4th time in the game, he has been able to secure the win in a 1v situation, 2 out of the 4.
Sakura trying to keep the team focused and fired up back there because they have given up now a 2-point lead. Manitoba fighting hard to get things back to even, and we still have 14 and a half to go. So
it is a tie game. Oh, it looks like a false start has been called on Como. So we have a false start on the side of Manitoba. This is their first false start of the half, so no players are to head to the out bin, but if it happens again, they will lose a player.
Yeah, just gotta stay disciplined about those in the moment. And off the rush, Wilmot taking a shot. It is blocked away, so Alberta getting the extra ball, getting to set up. Good disguises. Foley's hit. That one pops out of range. And Sakura taken out as well through the crowd. That's big for Manitoba.
That is a huge player swing, as those are 2 of the top players from the Alberta team, national level athletes. Keppel making another hit, getting tagged out himself. Manitoba still up 1 body.
All right, so they're going to try and work it a little further down. They do miss that shot. Again, good disguising from Alberta. They're really selling the fakes and mixing up the timing. Manitoba doing it as well as Como lets it go, missing a little high. Cross-court try bouncing as it skips in on Falk. Still great pace being shown by both teams here. There's a good ball.
Touches the blocker, but doesn't bounce far enough. Hits the back as well.
So Cheem heads off, and now it's a 4-on-2. Manitoba threatening to take the lead here. There's a preemptive shot. Como tagged on the toes. So that's going to help things if you're on the Alberta side.
And Alberta wants to dig deep here. They need this point to maintain their lead and to stay above the Manitoba team in this game.
Wong and Chang still out there. Wong, I think double checking. He got the 2 blockers on it. I think the question he was just looking at is whether it got his legs on the way down, but doesn't seem like it. Dubuque popping up, but just going to take their time and set up for Manitoba.
I think the Alberta team players switch sides. Changing up their targets, communicating, and they do. They land the hit onto Wilmot. His last name rhymes with mine, and I keep on messing it up.
I hadn't clocked that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a nice hit by Falk. And that's just going to leave 1 out there. Alex Chang facing down 2 from Manitoba. Falk and Dubuque They're lurking. All right, we didn't see the rush counter there. They're going to set up. Chang going to take one. He does. He gets hit on the calf.
It clips the leg on the way. Manitoba taking the lead for the first time in this match.
As we see, just wasn't able to get the leg out of the way quickly enough, so nice hit. Manitoba in the lead. It's been elusive for them so far, but they've got it now. They're not going to want to let it go. Timeout called. I think that was the Alberta side calling it.
I believe it was the Alberta side. Both teams taking this timeout to talk strategy. Captain Wilmot talking to the team. Coaches also talking to the team, trying to give advice on how to maintain this momentum that the Manitoba side has been gaining in the second half.
Yeah, there's always a lot to talk about. If you're Alberta, I think part of it is about managing the frustration of having a lead slip away, too. Obviously, you had the lead. That means you're capable of getting it again. So maybe just getting back to whatever they feel like the things that gave them that edge are, because you can't control the things like the wacky double bounces and things that turn into catches for the other team, but
totally, you
can control the decision making and the execution on your side.
Of course, and you can also control how you hype up your players.
Okay, that ball sticking in Wong's shot, sticking in on Wilmot. Wong clearly thought it bounced as it got in.
There's a discussion on whether or not it was a bounce, and the referees are saying it was a bounce. So no catch, yeah, no players out.
The referee on the near side there, Nathan Herbert, would have had a great view. So, and it looks like there was a hit there. Some of Manitoba signaling it was a double, but it doesn't seem like that was the case. Ben's tagged out though.
Sometimes that ball comes in so quickly, it bounces off the ground, looks like it's a double off the other player, but the refs are the ones with the view, and they're the ones who are able to make that call.
Oh, Falk catching Sakura this time. Cody fully attacking the bunch up, but Ben finding the catch there too. That's a big deal again, and Ben fired up. I think what Foley did was correct, attacking the clump, but yeah. I mean, Ben was looking at him, had the hands ready.
He was ready. And that momentum, that energy on the Manitoba side is hyping each other up. They keep on securing those catches. They keep on making some incredibly big plays happen on the court. And it's continuing into this current set. 5 players on the Manitoba side, 3 on the side of Alberta.
And the center one is Cravets, who's in the match. We haven't seen him a lot for this Alberta side, but they've swapped him in. He's holding down the center with 2 balls at the moment.
Relaying that call to his teammate. Setting up for defense. Alberta is ready. Jumping out of the way.
Good ups there from Cravets.
Yeah.
Got the energy coming in fresh to this game. He goes cross-court, another grab.
Another incredible grab. He threw the counter as the ball was coming in at him and was able to react and make that catch as well.
Campbell with a block. Yeah, when we've seen Ben get hit out on the regular, it's been lower body, and we're seeing that stuff up in the torso is just in danger of being caught. So
definitely.
Wilmot comes in challenging. Okay, there's a torso shot, but it was outside enough. The ball by Cheem taking out Bend.
Yeah, Bend making a few catches this set, and now heading off to the bench.
Oh, another grab.
Wilmot, another catch. I honestly believe this is the 4th catch of this set. The Manitoba side is just grabbing anything that they can and just hyping each other up each time.
And closing it out, which is a little easier when you just keep catching your teammates back in. So
that is true. It's like an infinite line of people coming back onto the court. So Alberta now down 2 points. we need to make some adjustments to remain competitive in this match. This point is critical for Alberta to secure the set and turn things in their favor.
Wilmot doing a great job getting under that attack. A very fast rush this time from the Alberta side, and now good counterplay everywhere, but Wilmot taken out. He's rarely in the middle.
Sakura taking Wilmot out, knowing this is a person we need to target before they can target us back.
Good fakes drawing out the move, and they get a couple of good hits. Sakura taken out, as is Alex Chang. Manitoba still looking feisty back there.
Bend misblocked there. He looked like he was starting to settle into a rhythm, but not able to defend himself in that situation. Foley now on the opposite side corner, facing off against Kemple.
Yeah, Foley, another high energy player. He's got a dangerous shot. We haven't seen his catching. That has also been a signature of his game in this match. That catching has been mostly on the Manitoba side.
I'm going to say we haven't seen it yet because there's lots of games still left. So there is that potential that it might happen in this set.
Just under 7 minutes to go. Lots of time for lots to happen. 7-5 edge for Manitoba. To the line. It's just a shot toward Foley, who then retaliates, onto Kemble.
Yeah.
Everybody's still in it, though.
Foley gets under that ball, going up, takes the counter, gets caught, and another hit onto a Manitoba player. 4 players to 3 in favor of the Manitoba side.
Yeah, but Manitoba is hyped. They get another hit on a 2-ball attack. Team sent off, and now Paradis and Kravets.
They're switching positions, lining up for that attack. Como jumps over that ball.
Now they attack, they look toward Kravets, they get the hit. Little misdirection fooled them on where the shot was coming from. Paradis gonna have to do it all now.
Kemple communicating that defensive call to Wilmot.
Paradis, I think, trying to drop curve that, but didn't get enough snap on it, and back line.
Steps out of bounds.
Or it might have even been a call to do it on purpose with the amount of time left, too. Because they've got 5.5 minutes to go. They are down 3.
They need to win the next 2 sets.
No timeout called.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that works, too.
So timeout was called. He is still on. Wait, no. It looks like it was a timeout called, but also it's a new set.
It's everything.
So he did step out of bounds, ending that set, moving into the next round. And Alberta needs to get a point on the board to stay competitive in this match.
Sakura looking toward Bend and low on the body, which again, I think is how he's got to do it. Bend threatening, but pulls back. There's a good preemptive shot.
Hits before he's able to secure that hit back. So Bend also hit out on the Manitoba side.
Yeah, we and Ben trading on the other side.
So now we are 5 players to 3 in favor of Alberta. And this is the first time we've seen Alberta with player advantage in a while. Ooh. Sakura taking that shot on the middle player of the Manitoba side. And no balls in hand for the Alberta team.
And like I was saying before, I think you've got to attack this Manitoba team low on the body. That's where Sakura was able to find a couple of shots. And with that accuracy, and now the rush, she's so fast getting into it.
Both corners go for the rush attack, not landing any hits, but the Manitoba team knows it's coming.
And they're gonna be smart. They have time on their side for Manitoba, they know that. I think they're talking about keeping it slow, keeping it safe. The counterplay from that, though, is exactly this kind of aggressive play.
And it was
Sakura.
A really close attack.
Sakura's positive Como should be out, I think.
He was for sure thought that he hit him on that cross-court shot. And while it did sound like there was contact, the referees might have called bounce on that play.
We'll see if we can find a good look at it.
Because Sakura did pressure up, thinking that Como was going to be leaving the court, but Como was never in a position where he was going to be stepping off the court. He was never called off by a referee.
And there's no way Sakura would have been up that aggressively
If he knew.
If he could have been under siege from a player on that side, yeah. So.
Oh, he's getting called out. Okay.
He's a little vexed.
Yeah, I think anytime that you see something different as a player in a heated match like this, that's different from what is being called by the referees, there can be some emotion that comes out as that goes. Alberta wants to secure the win quickly here. They take out one player, and Como with all balls in his possession.
He's using most of the time, as is his luxury in this moment. We're looking at 3.5. That one's skipping a little short.
Being called on an invalid. In the rule book, you do need to make a valid attempt at hitting a player. In that situation, the referee did deem that shot to be not valid.
Yeah, and during this timeout called by Manitoba coach Jenna Sanche, yeah, we can say that that's a rule that was added a few years ago because we don't want to see players obviously just kind of stalling out situations by making throws that have no impact on the play.
You see some team support on the side of Alberta. Sakura getting some taps on the shoulder, some taps on the back, and being supported and uplifted by his teammates for this incredible match that he has been playing. And what is our time now?
We've got just under 3 minutes.
3 minutes, and it is a 2-point differential between Manitoba and Alberta. So lots of time left. If they're able to get a quick set and then move into a no blocking set, they could tie up the game.
Yep.
Oh, 2-point differential. Pardon? Oh, sorry. I said 3-point differential, but I meant 2-point differential. I can't count right now. So there is definitely enough time for those 2 sets to happen.
And right away off the rush, I'm sure we're going to see again just trying to force the play. Wilmot gets out on the second one. Foley finds it, but that does cost a second ball.
But they do still have 2 balls in the possession because the first one spent came back to their side.
So Alberta, this is always the dance. You want to be aggressive because you do need to do things quickly, but if you're too aggressive and you give the other team all the balls to bleed out the clock, Foley ambushed a bit by Bend.
So that cross court not secured by Foley. Bend making that hit. Making the hit. The refs are going to come in and decide whether or not that follow-up throw was in time before he was a dead player on the court.
Because Ben's ball did go down pretty quickly.
From my point of view, I would say probably not. But the refs see something that we don't see. So they do call Bend out.
All right, so as we pick back up, it's going to be on Manitoba to throw. They've got the extra balls. And they get a hit.
And
that's a double.
Fortunate double on the side of Alberta. They need this win. So if Manitoba is able to run the clock down to the no blocking round or secure the win for this point, they will win this game.
Very tight match. It's only a 2-point difference. Manitoba again just working the clock. That one coming close up on the shoulder, but actually, maybe not as close as it looks. It looks like another call about not a close enough throw. You need to make it an impactful shot. We know that a ball can slip, but at the same time,
intentional wasting of balls is definitely something that the refs are looking for in a match like this, when every second counts in order for this match to continue. And the team that is in the lead, if they are just wasting time by throwing not valid throws, they will be punished.
Well, it's obviously a judgment call from the referees, but I think a lot of us who've been playing for a long time have a pretty good idea when it's happening. Oh, and there's a hit. As we see Alex Chang send off to the side. Just Nick Hui left, missing high. Dubuque, one of those players who will move in any direction while dodging, so Falk and Dubuque, they attack. It's a block. Hui's return is blocked as Dubuque goes low, and again, Hui goes low, gets hit. That's gonna secure it.
So it is official. The Manitoba team has secured the win. It is not within reach for Team Alberta. And do we play out the remainder? How much time do we have?
I think there's a bit of conversation about that, but we are basically out of time. So I would assume it looks like that's the end.
Yeah, so we are out of time in this match. Manitoba secures the win, remains in the loser bracket of this tournament with 2 wins today, and Alberta being knocked out in the men's division.
A very close match, very exciting. I mean, not that you ever want to lose, but at least losing a close one feels marginally better than if it's a lopsided score. So Alberta showing a ton of heart and execution, just not quite enough this time.
Yeah, definitely. And also, it does sting a little bit when you're up in the game and then the other teams is able to come back for the win in the second half. So kudos to both teams for putting on such an incredibly competitive match, and Team Alberta for maintaining that lead throughout the entire first half. Manitoba staying strong, coming back, rallying, and feeling motivated to secure that win.
Yeah, and full credit to them. They made a lot of catches on, like, obviously the Alberta players, like most players in this tournament, very good throwers. And so a lot of great shots secured by Manitoba. I think the scouting report on them has to be, you've got to, if they're upright, you've got to be going low on them. Otherwise, you are really running a risk. And I think in the moments when we're taking counters, a lot of us are just trying to get the ball on center mass, try to make sure you make the hit, but that is very risky against this team, as they've shown multiple times throughout the tournament.
Definitely, that is. So now we are moving into the all-star matches on the main court. Our live stream should be ended on court number 2. There is no more action happening on court 2 today. So we will be starting that momentarily. It is the women's all-star match that will be happening first.
We should see that starting. We're just a couple of minutes behind in the schedule. That's listed as starting at 11:30, but I'm pretty sure it will be getting underway in just a few minutes. So we'll take a short break until that happens, but please join us again for the Women's All-Star match here at Canadian Nationals in Rim Park in Waterloo.